The millionaire's Mustang broke down on the edge of town, its engine hissing like an angry beast. He expected a mechanic, but instead a little black girl walked out of the garage, her hands already smudged with grease and her smile calm. "Need some help, sir?" she asked, slipping on gloves twice her size. He blinked in disbelief. "You fix cars?" She nodded, humming softly as she lifted the hood. The silver ring on her small finger caught the sunlight. Old, worn, and far too large for her. Something about that ring made him freeze. His face changed, and his voice dropped to a whisper. "Where did you get that?" Amara looked up, her eyes clear and kind. "It belonged to someone important," she said. The millionaire's breath caught as recognition flickered in his eyes. Could this little girl be connected to the one person he thought he had lost forever? The afternoon sun hung low over Lewis Auto Repair, turning the dust in the air to gold. The smell of motor oil mixed with coffee and rain from the morning storm. Inside, the steady clank of tools blended with the soft hum of an old Motown song playing on the radio. Amara Lewis stood on a wooden crate beside her grandfather's workbench, tightening a bolt on an old Ford. Her gloves were too big, but her focus was sharp. She wiped her hands on a red rag, humming along to the tune her grandfather always called the song of the shop. "Nice work, Peanut," he said with a smile. "You've got the touch," Amara grinned, glancing at the loose silver ring on her finger. It had belonged to her late mother, the one her grandfather said carried more kindness than the whole world knew what to do with. The rumble of an engine outside broke the rhythm. A sleek black Mustang rolled up, the kind of car that did not belong on their dusty road. The driver stepped out, a tall man in a suit, polished shoes catching the light. His watch probably cost more than the whole garage. "Excuse me," he said sharply. "Car died a mile back. I was told this is the only shop nearby." Her grandfather wiped his hands. "Yes, sir. We'll take a look." The man's eyes shifted to Amara, his brow creased. "You let her work here?" "She's my helper," her grandfather replied evenly. "Best one I've got," the man frowned. "I need someone who knows what they're doing." Amara felt the sting but said nothing. She only stepped closer to the car, peering under the hood. "It is the timing belt," she said softly. He turned to her, surprised. "And what would you know about engines?" She met his gaze, her tone calm. "Enough to fix them." The shop fell quiet except for the slow drip of oil on concrete. Her grandfather smiled faintly, but the man's pride lingered like smoke. Amara picked up her wrench again, pretending not to notice. Yet deep down she felt it. This was no ordinary customer. Something about him, about that car, carried a story waiting to be uncovered. Amara worked quietly beneath the hood, her small hands moving with practiced care. The millionaire, Mr. Cole, stood nearby, checking his watch every few seconds. The sound of metal tapping against metal echoed through the small garage. Her grandfather handed her a wrench. "You got this, Peanut," he said softly. She nodded, tightening the final bolt. The engine coughed, then purred back to life. For a moment, the air filled with something close to pride. Mr. Cole looked stunned. "How did you know what to do?" Amara smiled shyly. "Engines talk if you listen." Hope flickered, just for a heartbeat, in his usually guarded eyes. But before the warmth could settle, his phone rang. His voice hardened again. "Yes, I'm at some old garage. Yes, a little girl fixed it." The words hit harder than he realized. Amara turned away, pretending to clean her hands. Her grandfather's gentle hum tried to fill the silence, but the sting remained. Pain followed quickly. Mr. Cole's car sputtered again, smoke rising from the back. He slammed the door, frustrated. "Figures," he muttered. "Cheap work." Her grandfather frowned. "Sir, that part was already worn. We can fix it properly." But Amara stepped forward. "I can fix it," she said quietly. He looked at her, anger flashing. You are a child!" She took a slow breath, clutching the red rag in her hands. Her mother's ring pressed cool against her skin, and for a moment she remembered her mother's voice. Calm, gentle. "Do not let someone's doubt decide your worth." She looked up. "Then watch me. अगर आप होते क्या आप कुछ कहता है या चुप रहता है?" She bent to work again, steady and sure. This time, Mr. Cole's eyes stayed on her hands, the same hands that should have been in school, yet knew more about courage than most adults he had met. Minutes later, the Mustang's engine roared, smooth and alive. The man exhaled, caught between awe and disbelief. He walked closer. "Where did you learn that?" "My mom taught me," Amara said softly. "Before she—" Her voice trailed off. He noticed the silver ring glinting on her small finger. His brow furrowed. "That ring! Where did you get it?" Amara hesitated. "It was my mother's," she said. "She said it belonged to someone she once helped." Mr. Cole's expression changed. The blood drained from his face as realization crept in. He took one step back, his voice barely a whisper. "What was her name?" The question hung in the air, trembling, dangerous, and about to change everything. The garage was silent except for the hum of the engine. Mr. Cole's eyes stayed fixed on the silver ring, the one dangling loosely on Amara's small finger. "Tell me her name," he said again, his voice trembling this time. Amara looked down at her hands, stained with oil. "Her name was Elise Lewis," she whispered. "She used to fix cars here. She was my mother." The words hit him like a wave. He took a slow step back, gripping the edge of the car for balance. "Elise, she helped me once, years ago. My car broke down in a storm. I was lost. She refused to take a cent." Amara nodded. She said that man reminded her that kindness still mattered. For the first time, Mr. Cole's proud voice broke. "That man was me," he whispered, "and I never thanked her." Amara smiled faintly, tears gathering at the corners of her eyes. "Then you just did." He knelt beside her, unable to hide the emotion anymore. "Your mother changed me once, and now you have done it again." Her grandfather stepped closer, his eyes soft. "Seems the world came full circle today," he said quietly. Mr. Cole stood, took a breath, and looked around the small, humble garage, the same kind of place he once thought beneath him. "No," he said. "It came home." He reached into his pocket, pulling out an envelope. "For the shop," he said, "and for her future. She deserves more than this." Amara's grandfather shook his head. "She already has more. She has her mother's hands." Mr. Cole smiled through tears. "And her heart. Share this if you still believe kindness can change the world." For a long moment, no one spoke. Only the soft hum of the Mustang filled the air, calm, steady, and alive again, just like the memory of a promise kept. The next morning, sunlight poured through the open doors of Lewis Auto Repair. Dust swirled in gold streams as Amara stood beside her grandfather, wiping down the same Mustang that had changed everything. Mr. Cole returned, this time without a suit, just a man, no longer hiding behind wealth. Daniel, his young son, stood beside him, eager eyes taking in every tool and engine part. "May I?" the boy asked, pointing to a wrench. Amara smiled. "Of course. You just have to listen to what the car is saying." Mr. Cole watched them, his heart lighter than it had been in years. He turned to her grandfather. "You were right. Some lessons are not found in boardrooms. They are built in garages." As they spoke, the same Motown tune from yesterday played faintly on the radio. Amara hummed along, her silver ring catching the morning light. Mr. Cole looked at it one last time, his voice barely above a whisper. "Your mother would be proud," Amara smiled. "She already is. Every time someone chooses kindness." Outside, a soft breeze carried the scent of oil and rain. The world felt quieter, clearer, as if even the engines knew peace had found its way back home. Subscribe for more stories where silence turns into strength. And as the camera fades from the small garage to the open road beyond, one question lingers like a heartbeat. How many lives could change if we simply chose to be kind?